Yes, guys, my future clients. Welcome back to J_A Estates. This video just basically going over, I've been at Hunters, well, these agents for 6 months now, so just giving you like an update on how things are, how am I finding it, what challenge I face, and do I like it, don't I like it, just stuff like that, So let's start. So when I first joined, I knew nothing. I barely even knew what a mortgage was. It was actually kind of embarrassing in the interview, and my manager asked me what's the mortgage, and before I said it with confidence, but I ended up getting the answer wrong. It's too funny. But yeah, stuff like that. I didn't know what a mortgage was, a few of the basic rules and stuff when it comes to viewings, organizing viewings, how a database works, how our system works, what to say over the phone. I knew none of it. I had to learn from scratch. And I will tell you, there has been some embarrassing and funny moments over the phone. Sometimes, because obviously I'm in competition with my colleague, sometimes I go pick up the phone when someone calls in, then I go blank. I forget what to say. This is in the first few weeks, first few months even. I just completely forgot to say. Sometimes I might even say, yo, who's this? Or I even say, yo, what's up? Over the phone to a client. I completely forgot. Then after I became master memory, you pick up the phone and straight away, good afternoon, you're down to Josh, how can I help? It becomes master memory, I can't help myself, but yeah, you learn that over time. What else happened, that's funny. Yeah, even sometimes I'm dialing a number and I'm calling a landlord or something like that, I completely forget what I'm gonna say when I ask, so just hang up the phone very quickly, call them back, reevaluate what you're gonna say, and then say to them, oh, hi there, sorry, yes. My line's not very clear. I don't know what happened there. Just make up some bullshit excuse, I kept doing that for the first few months, till I got comfortable speaking over the phone. In terms of the hours, I do 8:30 to 7 Monday to Thursday, 8 to 6 on a Friday. Then I'm in pretty much every Saturday. We're meant to rotation, but I would have been every Saturday anyway. Get all the deals, all the leads, all mine. 10 to 4. It's alright. I'm kind of used to it. As I said in my other video beforehand, I was in a warehouse and I was a part-time chef, so I was doing 14 hours a day pretty much. This is nothing. It's fine. I even stay behind if anything, which I shouldn't do, but it's just to get as much things done in one day as possible. But yeah, 6 months down the line, I've learned quite a lot. Way more confident with the phone. Getting better at closing deals in person without my manager's help. Still learning what to say and how to phrase it, but it's going pretty strong. Still haven't banked anything yet, so that's one thing as well. Mainly sort of not con, but you don't get paid for quite a while when you first start, unless you get a deal relatively early. But I got my first deal 3 months in the job. It takes another 2-3 months to get the money, so hence why it's been just about 6 months and I haven't received anything yet. Hopefully this month, fingers crossed, but we'll see. There's no promises. Yeah, I've had a few 4-3s as it is already. They've been very disheartening, I must say. But what's pro about this job is that you're learning how to sell, which is a very, very useful and important skill to have wherever you go in life. I'm now hearing from quite a lot of adults when I even speak to them over the phone, in person, in viewings, just ask them what they do, how they find their job. Even a few friends of mine, it all comes down to, if you can sell, you can go into any industry that requires a salesman. As long as you have a pitchy sales pitch, you can go very far with this type of job. So it's taught me how to do that. I'm getting better at it. I'm not the best or an expert. I'd say I'm intermediate at the moment. I've picked it up quite quickly, but it's just the art of learning what to say in person, over the phone. How to sell something like a property or an item. If you can sell the item, or if you have the ability to sell, people will want you. That's a very strong pro. another pro of the job, which is quite funny. Don't know what it is, but the ladies, they like smell money off you. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It sounds weird, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying all girls are gold diggers, right? But like, well, majority are. I'm just playing. But yeah, you just like, you draw attention wearing a suit. Obviously myself, not trying to show off, but when you have a nice car, it's like, you get either evil looks, especially from women, or you get unwanted attention, shall we say, depending where you go. I've had my fair share. Nothing bad or out of my control, obviously, but you know, it's just something to let you guys know. If you ever think about getting into the business, you will get that unwanted attention here and there. Yeah. One thing I'm struggling with at the moment is just I need to expand my vocabulary over the phone. I think I'm being a bit too repetitive with a few lines in mind, even if they work. You should switch up every week or so, instead of bore the same people every day in, day out, which is quite hard. It's quite challenging because it's a bit of trial and error. If one line doesn't work, and it could be very important if you don't get it right, it can stab you in the back. But at the end of the day, the more vocal you are, the better vocabulary you have at your disposal, the more weapon you can be over the phone and in person, which I've learned. That's something I need to work on 100%. Another amazing thing about this job that teaches you is networking and connections are so important. I've met so many different people, believe it or not, managers, producers, artists even. You wouldn't even believe it. I didn't believe when I first started. You know, like the amount of networking you get involved in, you meet so many different people, so many different characteristics, so many different personalities. Not everyone you get along with, but for the majority, they're very easygoing. It comes a long way, especially in the future, from what I've seen from people older than me and from my manager. It goes a long way in making those connections and staying in touch with those people. But yeah, that's quite a good thing about this job as well. Networking, it's a big, huge factor that can affect you in the future. Another thing about the job, that's a strong pro, I should say, it teaches you how to be organised. If you're not an organised person, well, you will struggle. You won't float, you'll sink. It's hard to get out of that position if you really start sinking, to be honest with you. You can't have that concern that if you don't do this, this will happen to you. Even if you're under pressure, you have to be organised, a leader in yourself on a daily basis. Be ready for anything, because you could be surprised and be on the hot seat, and then you need to, adapt in that point in time to know what to do, what to say, and how to handle the situation. I've been there. Not every experience has been the best, but with experience, it's taught me how to handle that situation, being in the hot seat. But yeah, it teaches you organisation skills, because majority of the time, I'm following up on people, their thoughts, if they like the property, if they don't like the property, for whatever reason why they didn't like the property, and I have to make note of it, update the seller, blah, 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 in a timely and mannerly order. And if I don't, my manager gets onto me, which we don't want. But yeah, it teaches you organisation skills, which is very, very important. A con you could say about the industry is, it's not really a con, it kind of depends who you are. If you're not a hard worker, you may get bored, you may start to doubt yourself and doubt your success rate. Because it is a numbers game sometimes with cold call-outs for landlords. I'm finding it more frequently than before, because I've only started recently doing landlord call-outs rather than when I first joined, because I didn't know what to say or handle certain situations. But yeah, you need to persevere, and if you don't have that determinism, or you're not a persevering person, you will fall short of success, and you probably will struggle, and you will sink, not float. That's one thing I'd say. It's very hard to work on that if you're like that in general, you just tend to give up if things don't go your way. That's a really big blockade if you're looking to be a sales negotiator. Lettings is a bit different when it comes to letting and renting flats out. If you're a letting negotiator, it's faster, but sales is tougher, bigger reward, but more risk involved as well. So you have to be persevering. You can't just give up if something doesn't go your direction. That's one con for those who don't have that drive and innate work in them to really persevere. Funny story. So that's pretty much it in terms of pros and cons. I'll just give you a funny story. So when I first joined, right, back in November, so basically 6 months ago, my manager told me, not November, October, sorry. My manager told me to walk around the area. I think it was the first week, just walk around the area, get a feel for the area, learn your shops, learn your bus stops, learn the schools. When I first heard him, Jason, if you hear this, don't hate me, alright? This is my initial reaction. I thought, this is long, I can't be asked to walk around the area and whatnot. But then I realised over the phone, you get asked, what's the nearest school around this flat? Or what's the nearest bus stop? Or how can I get to so-and-so and how long? So it's, you know what, in hindsight, actually saved me from being embarrassed over the phone if I can answer these questions. So that's very important, actually learning your surroundings. If you ever decide to join, know your area like the back of your hand. I'm telling you, it will be the biggest advantage up your sleeve that the clients won't even realize. Because it's a good point just to mention when you're in person with the person that you're dealing with, your client. It just shows you know your stuff. You're not here to piss about, and you're there to help 100%. And it shows that you know what you're doing. You're not a noob like I was at the start. If you guys like what you saw, just a basic background of how things are going in 6 months' time, just like and subscribe, comment for any more content, or for any other questions about real estate or how you even get the job. That's it from me pretty much. Just a basic background, as I said. More is coming, so yes, stay tuned. And next I'll probably show you what I get up to during my viewings and stuff like that, what I say. Peace.